파워포인트 하시는 분은 USB 바로 제출해주시고 제출하신 분은 받아가시면 돼요. 네.
심사표가 있어야 되거든요.
심사표.
심사표고
네.
잠깐만.
얼굴이 있어야 돼요. 운동. 그리고 이건 한 장밖에 없는 것 같아요. 근데 일단 여기 다 해놓은 건 별로 없네요. 아, 네. USB 제출하실 분 계신가요? 복사해야 돼.
다음에
지금까지 복사 오실래요?
지금 저기 보고
일단 하고 있는데. 김연서 학생 혹시 영상인가요?
네.
네, 내가 체크해줄게.
네가 거기 앉아. 내가 어떻게 이제 더 완전히 종이가 더 완전.
맞아요. 그래서 이제 여기서 받아가 이제 요거 여기서 이점에는 물론 그런 식으로
우리가 몇 명을 이 애들이
USB 다 제출하셨죠? PPT 가져오신 분. 이거 PPT 받아가시면 돼요.
The middle score is 20, 20, 10. And then if you think this student is a little bit better, then you can get 2 more points, not 1. So in this case, you can have only even numbers. And for this attitude thing, you can have odd numbers for. But the problem is we need to set the
위에서 제출하셨네.
standard first.
잠시만요.
So we can talk a lot from the first to 3 or 4 students, then you can set the standard. And then we can break down that and you can deduct the number, deduct the score. And we have to be very careful about the best. 아까 3명이랑 아까 1명은 쳤거든요. 처음에 이제 우리 원어민들이 얘기했는데 우리가 일단 이제 기술을 잡는 게 필요하니까 처음에 한 3명 학생들은
오, 생명한 네. 여기
지금 이 정도가 되나요? 그럼 여기는 총점이야. 지금 필요한 게 요정이다.
이렇게 갖고 이 종이를 몇장 하는 너무 한자 이상
이거?
Very, very
Bravo. Love. USB 제출하셨다고 하고. 내일로 믿을 수 있으시면 바로.
이렇게 가져가 버리나.
네, 남의 장려 가서 남의 장려 가냐? 네. 이거는 일단은 한때부터 부상이 나간 적도 되고, 또 한까지 내년에 독도를 가요. 네. 훈련도 늦었고. 열심하고 학교로 공부 나갔습니다. 그러면 됐고, 지금 시상식은 안 하니까 예상하고 나중에 결과만 나오면 돼요. 시상 발표는 메인 저기서 그러니까.
번호가 그래서 달라졌어. 여기에 6번이 라고 되어 있는 숙제는 20회를 7번으로 씁니다. The number 6 is correct. Actually, it's the number 6.
안녕하십니까. 저는 이번 독도 외국어 스피치 대회를 총 주관한 대회 본부장 최승일입니다. 18년 동안 준비를 하면서 이번처럼 많은 신청자로 처음 받아봤고요. 많은 대회 인원도 처음 뽑아봤습니다. 초중등 합쳐서 총 988명이 원서를 냈습니다. 그래서 1, 2, 3차에 걸쳐서 원고 심사와 심사를 통해서 초등부 47명, 중등부 26명을 선발했습니다. 그래서 원래는 한 장소에서 우리 초등학생 그리고 아이들을 하는 거를 우리 중학교 교과들도 같이 보고 하면 참 좋은데 그렇게 하면 오늘 밤 한 10시 돼야 끝날 것 같아요. 안 그래도 제가 보니까 포항에서 어제 여기에 도착하셔서 인근에 주무시고 오신 분들도 많고 그래서 최대한 빨리 마치려고 제가 이렇게 잔머리를 굴려봤습니다. 그래서 이번 우리 중학생들은 원래만 이렇게 좀 하고 내년에는 제가 약속을 드리겠습니다. 최대한 초중등 합쳐서 50명 이상 안 되도록 선발을 했습니다. 1000명이 신청을 오든 2000명이 오든 그만큼 경쟁이 치열해지겠죠. 네, 그래서 내년도에는 그동안 제가 도 사업으로 경북 도청 사업으로 지금 시작을 했는 게 18년인데 저는 도 교육청까지 포함을 시킵니다. 그래서 계획폭이 많이 넓어져요. 그래서 일단은 그렇게 하고 참고로 수학에 관계된 거는 오늘 시상식은 못합니다. 미리 이제 공지를 했고요. 그래서 대신 시상 발표만 지금 유튜브로 라이브로 나가고 있는데 시상 발표만 오늘까지만 하고 수상자 시상 상장과 상품은 교육청을 통해서 학교로 예송이 될 수 있도록 그렇게 하겠습니다. 그리고 참고로 우리 중고등부 학생 26명에서 한 명의 학생이 갑자기 장염으로 입원을 해서 못 나왔고 한 명의 학생이 요청을 하게 됐는데 이 중에서 총 수강자는 전체 다 수강자입니다. 여기까지 오신 것만 해도 수강의 의무가 있습니다. 그래서 대신에 조금 잘하고 조금 부족하고 이런 부분만 체크를 하니까 1등은 물론 교육감상 계산이 수상이 되는 거고요. 1등부터 성적순으로 10등까지는 내년도에 2023년도에 지역교육청에서 우리 학생들 독도 탐방 프로그램에 참여를 시켜준다고 우리 도 교육감님이 약속을 하셨습니다. 그래서 시켜줄 거고요. 그다음에 올해를 기회로 매년마다 이렇게 해서 초등부 10명, 중등부 10명 이렇게 해서 독도를 탐방할 수 있도록 기회를 제공하도록 하겠습니다. 조금 더 힘을 써서 제가 15명, 20명까지 한 번 더 올려볼게요. 네, 좀 감사하고요. 어제 많이 기다렸습니다만 조금 하다가 배고프니까 밥도 먹어야 되겠죠. 점심시간을 갖고 또 시작하겠습니다. 그러면 우리 일단 우리 초등부는 메인 MC가 있고요. 우리 중등부 스피치는 우리 학생들이 사회를 맡아 하려고 합니다. 우리 학생들이 자원했어요. 제가 뚜렷하고 싶은 거 아닙니다. 그렇기 때문에 틀린 점도 조금 있을 겁니다. 그래서 더 이쁘게 봐주시고 태어나고 사회 처음입니다. 두 분이. 원래 또 한 학생은 원래 영어 스피치 연사로 출전을 했다가 사회를 해야 되기 때문에 스피치를 과감하게 통일한 그런 학생입니다. 이쁘게 봐주시고요. 지금부터 진행을 하도록 하겠습니다. 네.
지금부터 제18회 경상북도 외국어 스피치 대회 중등부 대회를 시작하겠습니다.
Let's start the 80th 경상북도 Foreign Language Speech Contest.
저는 사회를 맡은 예천중학교 3학년 김재용입니다.
I am 김재용, a third grade in 예천 Middle School.
저는 사회를 맡은 영주 여중 조소영입니다.
I am 조소영, a third grade in 영주 Girls Middle School.
지금부터 중국어, 일본어 찬조 연사들의 스피치를 들어보겠습니다. 첫 번째 일본어 연사는 대창고등학교 2학년 김동건 학생입니다.
그래요.
예.
정도가 14번.
독도 마모를 보호. こんにちは。私は別韓国2年生のユントンカンと申します。皆さん、独島はどちらの領土でしょう。私は強く大韓民国の領土だと主張します。これに明白な根拠を挙げて申し、大韓民国の領土である独島を守る方法を提示します。独島は大韓民国の領土である根拠は次のようです。第一、地理的な理由です。独島は韓国の東の一番端にあり、울릉도から 87.4km 離れています。しかし日本は独島から一番近いところにある島根県から 210km 離れています。第2、歴史的な理由です。大学12年、イサブが釜山国を占領し、地上を中断でシアリの領土に編入されました。朝鮮の改造の時、安陽国が当時の最高機関である大属官から独島は朝鮮の領土という公式文書を受け取りました。また1900年、構想が直令第41号を発表し、独島が我が国の領土であることを改めて知らせました。このように明らかに韓国の領土であるにもかかわらず、隣国の日本は独島を竹島と称し、自国の領土だとやっています。これだけにとどまらず、全世界の地図に国力を講示し、独島を竹島と変えて明示させています。これに対する私は独島を守る方法について、海内外的に考えてみました。国内でできる方法は次のようです。第一、独島の日である10月25日を祝日に指定することです。そうすれば国民が独島の日を強く認識するでしょう。第2、独島科目を重要な期間として指定することです。そうすれば、学生たちはもっと熱心に勉強して、関連した活動も多様になるからです。第3、独島へ旅行に行けるように支援することです。国民が気楽に行けるように多様な旅行イベントを作れば、独島に対する認識が高まるでしょう。対外的には第一、日本が竹島と称する根拠を一つずつ反論することです。敵をしてこそ勝利するという言葉があります。彼らが掲げる根拠を掘り下げて反論する努力をしなければならないでしょう。第2、独島が韓国の領土であるという印が刻まれた多様な記念品を作って世界に配布することです。最後に芸能人たちが海外公演の時、独島が我が国の領土であることを表せる文句やデザインされた服やアクセサリーを着用することです。外交官も外交しますか？日常生活での外交は特に BTS のような芸能人がすると思います。独島は永遠に我が国である大韓民国の領土です。ご清聴ありがとうございました。 다음 중국어 천조연사는 대창고등학교 2학년 윤호재 학생입니다. 大家好，我是华昌高中2年级的于获杰。你们觉得读到是去哪些国家呢？是日本还是韩国？我认为读到属于韩国。今天我想给你们分享我为什么觉得读到属于韩国，还有怎么能保护我们国土的完整的。我强烈主张读到属于韩国有几个理由。第一项的理由，读到位于韩国的最东边的位置，110到87.7公里。但在日本跟读到最近得到干线有210公里的距离。第二，历史上的理由，首先，公元512年，15将近占领上国，后在至正王13年与上国沿入了新罗领土。朝鲜王朝的太宗时期，包括在读到专门从事为业。当罗努克人的安龙夫妻日本得到了日本正式认定读到属于朝鲜的文件，甚至1900年高宗皇帝发表第14号指令，再次阐明读到是我们的国领土。从此可发现，读到明明白白是属于韩国领土。但日本父亲从读到为主导，还动多国家力量要求全世界从读到为主导。读到属于韩国领土，该事实永久不变。谢谢。그럼 지금부터 본격적으로 중등부 순서를 진행하겠습니다.
Now second part of the event will begin.
그럼 지금부터 본격적으로 연사들의 웅변 발표를 시작하겠습니다. 익숙한 부분이 있더라도 큰 박수로 격려해 주시고 끝까지 연사들의 발표에 집중해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Even though some speakers make some mistakes, we wish you to encourage them with a name.
첫 번째 연사는 영주 풍기중학교 1학년 김윤세 학생입니다. 어떤 행사든 첫 번째 순서는 긴장이 제일 많이 되는 법이죠. 여러분 큰 박수로 격려해 주시기 바랍니다.
Hello, I'm Yunse Kim, a first grade student in Pungi Middle School. Today, I will introduce our land Dokdo and its value. Dokdo was created by volcano activities from 4.6 million years ago to 2.5 million years ago. Dokdo, which was called Usangu, was included into Shinra territory in 512 AD. In 1877, Taejongwan, Japan's top state agency, issued then an official document. Ulleungdo and Dokdo were not Japanese territory. Later, in 1900, Ulleungdo was called Ulleunggun in Korean Empire's Decree Number 41, and it was decided to include Ulleungdo, Jukdo, and Seokdo. After Korea was liberated from Japan, the Supreme Command of the Union established that Ulleungdo and Dokdo were Korean territory. Nevertheless, in 1956, it handed over Dokdo security to the police. After 3 years and 8 months of activities, by a civilian organization to counter Japan's invasion. Dokdo is so valuable that the entire land is a natural monument. It has great economic and ecological future value. It is a place where a warm current and cold current met, and it is rich in fishery resources. Also, Dokdo is the home of about 549 species and the breeding ground for endangered species. In particular, about 600 billion tons of natural gas methane hydrate, a future clean energy resource, are buried. This methane hydrate is important because it emits less harmful substance than coal and oil. It is next generation clean energy source, and Dokdo is reaching it. So far, we have learned about the historical of Dokdo and its value. As we can view in ecological, geographical, and historical of Dokdo, Dokdo is a valuable asset that no one can covet. There are many things that we can do for Dokdo. Usually, Koreans blame Japan for trying to take away Dokdo. But now, rather than cursing Japan, we should take a pride Dokdo first and recognize it as a living island. Only if we take pride in our land Dokdo will its value shine even more. Thank you.
다음 연사는 경주 월성중학교 1학년 오승영입니다.
Second speaker is Oh Seung-young, first grade from Gyeongju 월성 Middle School.
Hello, my name is. Hello, my name is Seung-young Oh, the first year student at Wilson Middle School in Gyeongju. Not long ago, I saw an article. Government protests against Japanese diplomatic office over Dokdo is Japanese territory. This is an article titled Visions of Japan-German Cooperation. At the 2022 diplomatic hearing, the Japanese government once again claimed Dokdo as Japanese territory, repeating the previous claim. I do not understand why Japan insists on Dokdo as their own land. I believe it is very sad the controversy continued even though the Korea claimed Dokdo is Korean territory. Then suddenly, a thought occurred to me. We have the strength to protect our precious Dokdo. Do you know Dokdo well and can you explain the reason why Dokdo is Korean territory? To be honest, even though I'm writing this right now, I hesitate to answer yes with confidence. Dokdo, a beautiful island located in eastern end of Korea. It is a volcanic island made up of Sodo, Dongdo, and 89 rocky islands scattered around it. Dokdo is an island that was created about 4.6 million years ago, and it is older brother of Ulleungdo and Jeju-do. Dokdo, which belongs to Ulleunggun, Gyeongsangbuk-do, is currently state land owned by Korean government and designated as National Monument number 336. It is also treasure trove of natural ecosystems and is home to more than 60 species of plants, 103 species of insects, 160 species of birds, and various marine life. Since the Dokdo Sea area is where the worms and cold worms transmit, a golden fishery is where the many fish can be caught and created, and many endangered species of fish live there. In addition, it is said that there is an enormous underground resources called methane hydrate near Dokdo's deep sea. It is an enormous amount of energy that can be used by the people around the world for 5,000 years, and technology is still insufficient to bring the energy to the ground, and scientists are currently developing it. Unfortunately, Japan has known this fact long ago, and it is said to be the first country of the world to successfully extract methane hydrate. Dokdo's abundant flora and fauna, seafood, and underground resources are the main reason Japan is targeting Dokdo, and it is also the reason why we must protect it. In January of this year, then, what should individuals, societies, and nations do to protect Dokdo Island? October 25th is Dokdo's Day. October 25th, 2000 is a day designated to publicize Dokdo's territory and to inform the world of its protect Dokdo. On October 25th, 1900, Emperor Gozon designated as Dokdo is an island attached to Ulleungdo in 1841 of Korean Empire. As such, the National Assembly makes various laws related to Dokdo, and government is providing the basic stance on Dokdo and various materials related to Dokdo in various languages of the world through the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Gyeongsang-Dokdo is taking the lead in protecting Dokdo by October as Dokdo Month, and Ulleungdo offers the Dokdo Management Office and Dokdo Museum, making efforts to manage and promote Dokdo. What an individual should always pay attention to study and practice Dokdo to gentle with a passionate interest. In January of this year, I went on a cruise to Ulleungdo and Dokdo with my family. Through my travels, I met a lot of people who are working hard for protecting Dokdo, and my heart warmed even more when I heard the reason for protecting Dokdo right on the spot. In particular, Dr. Yumbe Kim's lecture at Ulleungdo and Dokdo Marine Research Spaces resonated with me strongly. Dr. Yumbe Kim personally surveyed and researched the site of Dokdo, and it was admirable for him to be passionate about how to utilize and preserve the values of Ulleungdo and Dokdo. I was deeply moved by the word that was the best way for protecting our land, Dokdo. As Winston Churchill said in the radio address on May 4, 1940, it is said that a nation has forgotten its history has no future. If we forget Dokdo like our history, our history, it's like our future disappears. From now on, let's take a lot of interest in Dokdo and study to create a beautiful future for Korea. Thank you for listening.
다음 여행사는 포항제철중학교 1학년 이담희 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Lee Dam-hee, first grade school Poang Jecheol Middle School.
Hello, my name is Dam-hee Lee, and I'm the 7th grade at Poang Jecheol Middle School. Do you know anything about Dokdo? Dokdo is a beautiful island. In Dokdo, there are approximately 60 species of plants and approximately 2,046 species of wild animals. Even, there's an eco-friendly resource called methane hydrate. It is eco-friendly because it emits less carbon when used as fuel. But this perfect place in the outside has a painful history inside. Sadly, it has not been erased so far. I want to let everyone know what happened to Dokdo, especially to Japan. So today, I'm going to talk about the painful history of Dokdo. Dokdo, there was a creature called Gongji. Gonjis are sea lions, but you can't see them now. Why? It is because of Japan's greed. In Dokdo, there was approximately 40,000 gonjis living there until Japanese fishers came. The fishers illegally overfished 14,000 gonjis in only 8 years. In 1950, there was 50 to 60 gonji left. In 1972, there was only one baby gonji left. And in 1975, unfortunately, not a single gonji were found. Because of Japan, gonjis were extinct, and this peaceful place became a chaos. However, there was a person who tried to protect Dokdo. He is called Anyeonbok. In 1693, when Anyeonbok saw Japanese fishers illegally fishing on Dokdo, he protested it strongly. Then he said, "Ulleungdo and Dokdo are Joseon's lands. Why are you coming here to fish?" After arguing with the fishers, he was then kidnapped to Oki Island. When he was there, he protested it. He said, "Ulleungdo and Dokdo have been Joseon lands since ancient times. Why do you kidnap me when the Joseon's people went to Joseon territory? I'm not the one who made the mistake, but you guys broke into other people's land whenever you want. You are the one who made the mistake." But Japan still insisted that Dokdo and Ulleungdo are their lands. However, Joseon strongly protested that Dokdo and Ulleungdo are their islands. Because of the strong protest from Joseon, Japan began to investigate why Ulleungdo and Dokdo were belonged to Japan. And in 1695, December, Japan concluded that Ulleungdo and Dokdo were not belonged to Japan. Even though Japan said that Dokdo and Ulleungdo were Koreans' territory, Japanese fishers still fished on Dokdo and Ulleungdo. Surprisingly, Japan is still saying that Dokdo is their island, but no one can deceive the history. With this evidence, we know that Dokdo is our island. Thank you for listening, and never forget this.
다음 연사는 포항제철중학교 1학파 김천율곡중학교 1학년 이아름입니다.
Next school is 이아름, first grade from 김천율곡 Middle School. Hello, today I'd like to tell you about one of the most beautiful and talked about islands of Korea, Dokdo. As you might already know, this small island possesses much historical importance to the people of Korea and remarkable characteristics that distinguishes from the other parts of the country. To start off, Dokdo was formed by the underwater volcanic eruption in the East Sea, making its geological features much more unique than other islands, comprising 91 small islands. Furthermore, it is removed from the mainland of Korea, which makes the conservation of wildlife and plants much easier. Accordingly, the wildlife in Dokdo flourishes without much human intervention. Dokdo is home to many different types of plants and animals. Namely, there are 50 to 60 different types of plants on the island, with native plants like Seonggi-to and Seongchorom-to, which is the Korean bellflower. Furthermore, about 175 different types of beautiful birds called Dokdo. They are home from many different types of snipes, blackwood pigeons, black-tailed birds, to some birds that are classified as endangered species. As the island boasts a variety of plants and animals, it is no surprise that the island is designated nature reserve. What's more, the mixing of warm and cold currents that we surround the island provide a perfect habitat for the marine life. To give you a little bit of history on the island, one important figure that we should all know is Anyongbo. If you have not heard of him, he was one respected fisherman in the Joseon dynasty who was known for protecting the local fishery rights in Korea. As the waters came with life, many Japanese fishermen were found illegally fishing near Ulleungdo and causing trouble for the local community. Though what they were doing was wrong, while illegal fishing did not come to an end. This really infuriated them, and he warned the Japanese fishermen several times not to fish in the area. Surprisingly, thanks to An's efforts, the Japanese government officially recognized their wrongdoing and gave an unofficial letter that they would ban all the Japanese fishing activities. However, a couple of years later, Japanese fishing boats were spotted again near Ulleungdo, and in one incident, even chased a Japanese fishing boat all the way back to Japan. In doing so, Japanese government officials admitted their fault again and assured that this would not happen again. And in the process, he was taken by the Japanese government, and they took away the letter he had gotten before. In 1900, Dokdo was lawfully made part of Ulleungdo. Then, in 1904, Japanese government stationed military forces on the island. However, with the fall of the Japanese Empire in 1945, Japanese government surrendered the island, returning it to Korea. Nonetheless, the debate over the territorial rights is still ongoing, but the fact is that the island is under the administration of the Korean government. I hope you find my speech insightful, and I want to remind you, in order to protect our future, we must know the past and reflect on it. Thank you.
다음 연사는 포항제철중학교 1학년 이지윤 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Lee Ji-yeon, a first grade from Poang Jecheol Middle School.
Hello, my name is Jian Lee. First, let me explain the value of Dokdo. Dokdo was found out many years ago and has been our island for a very long time. It was also designated as natural monument in 1982. There are some main special things in Dokdo that can be called as a treasure island. Like this, Dokdo is a precious island for us. However, because of this, Japan named Dokdo. They named Dokdo Takeshima and repeatedly claim that it belongs to them. However, their outrageous behavior did not end here. In 2011, a Japanese social textbook marking Dokdo as their land passed the examination. This is ridiculous. Japan claims that we are illegally occupying Dokdo, but Korea was the first country to know about Dokdo. Our country has officially ruled Dokdo from the 6th century and is still in control even to this day. On the other hand, it wasn't until the middle of the 17th century that Japan knew Dokdo properly. Now, I will tell you why Dokdo is our land. To begin, what is territory? Territory refers to the area of the state consisting of land, territorial waters, and airspace. In this sense, I would like to argue that Dokdo is clearly our territory in terms of history, international law, and life. First, historically, Dokdo has been ruled by our country. In our history, there is a record that General Isabu of Silla took over Ulungdo and Dokdo. Second, international law also states that Dokdo belongs to us. In 1900, the claim over Dokdo in Joseon was announced internationally. This was 5 years earlier than Japan's claim. Third, Dokdo is the area of Ulungdo. This is Ulungdo nearby Dokdo. My father took this picture himself. Dokdo can be observed from Ulungdo on sunny days throughout the year. Moreover, since Korean residents are currently living there, Dokdo is clearly the land of South Korea. In addition, if you want to visit Dokdo, you can only enter it through Korea, not through Japan. All in all, Dokdo is a land that the Republic of Korea has just removed. This is my father and his friend in Dokdo. Although there are so much evidence like above, Japan is still claiming Dokdo, insisting that it's their territory. However, not only Koreans but also foreigners know that Dokdo belongs to us. No matter how much Japan insists that it's theirs, Dokdo is our land. Thank you for listening.
다음 연사는 구미 인덕중학교 2학년 이지인 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Lee Ji-in, a second grade from Gumi Indok Middle School.
I am Ji-in from Indok Middle School. Japan asserts Takeshima is Japanese territory. In 1905, the Japanese government named Takeshima. It was incorporated into Shimanen Prefecture, the Shimanen Prefecture. At the time, because Takeshima was an uninhabited island, so it had legally acquired sovereignty under the international law. And in 1945, Japan and the United States signed the San Francisco Peace Treaty. It was to deprive Korea of ownership and its surrounding area. The name Dokdo is not mentioned directly in this treaty. Moreover, in Japanese textbooks, it says Takeshima is indigenous territory of Japan and Korea is occupying it illegally. Japan asserts. But that's not true at all. In 1905, Japan decided to unilaterally annex Dokdo without any notice to Korea. Korea had already placed Dokdo under the jurisdiction of Ulungdo by Edict 41 in 1900. According to international law, there is a problem with the claim itself. Dokdo is not mentioned directly in the San Francisco Peace Treaty. Therefore, Japan asserts Dokdo is not Korean territory. However, Dokdo is included in the surrounding area. The satisfied islands are only examples, and it is impossible to list several hundred islands one by one, so it's an absolute claim. In addition, numerous documents from Korea and Japan say that Dokdo is Korean territory. There is a document that Shimanen Prefecture's Interior Minister asked Okidosa to give the name of Dokdo. In other words, Japan asked the administrator of Japanese island to close to Dokdo what the name of Dokdo was. then we can see that Japan did not know even about Dokdo properly at the time. In 1667, Hindustanaki states the northwestern boundary of Japan and that of Thailand. In 1808, Mangyuram, both Dokdo and Ulungdo are recorded as a land of Korea. In addition, Dokdo is not indicated in the Japanese company map and the Shoho Japanese map. As such, it is clear that Dokdo is Korean territory. Then why does Japan still insist Dokdo is their territory? The reason is that the barrier of Dokdo is the Great. Dokdo is a strategic point and it serves as an air and defense base. It is also rich in aquatic and marine resources. These include methane hydrate and natural gas. Various rock and geological landscapes show the formation and evolution of some marine volcanoes. In addition, Dokdo is an intermediate habitat for the fish and the migratory birds crossing the East Sea, and it was designed as natural reserves in 1999. Then, what should we do to protect this precious Dokdo? Education should be strengthened for the future of Korea. We simply say that Dokdo is our land, but there are not many people who can say that the historical basis to prove that Dokdo is our land. Most Japanese youths learn that Dokdo is Japanese indigenous territory and Korea is occupying it illegally. When they make an absurd claim, Korean people should know how to respond accurately. To do that, history education should be strengthened more systematically, and the history-related activities should be increased step by step. Dokdo, the beautiful territory of Korea. We will do our best to protect Dokdo. Thank you for listening.
다음 연사는 구미 도성중학교 1학년 한예나 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Hanyena, first grade from Gumi Dosong Youth.
Hello, my name is Hanyena, an ordinary middle school student in South Korea. I'm sure you must have heard of Dokdo at least once. Dokdo is a small island along the South Korean peninsula. South Korean students know very well about Dokdo. In kindergarten, the song Dokdo is our land is like a nursery rhyme. And just as the song suggests, Dokdo is South Korean land. Dokdo is a beautiful island with many wonders, but also a sad history. After Japan failed to keep hold of South Korea, the country admitted that Dokdo was South Korean territory as early as 1696. Despite this, the Japanese government has insisted on claiming Dokdo as Japanese territory since 1779. But history has and will always support that this beautiful and interesting island belongs to South Korea. While words cannot truly express what Dokdo means to Koreans, they can explain why Dokdo is a beautiful gift of nature. Dokdo is a great paradise for animals. It is home to a total of
139 different species of birds, including the representative black-tailed seagull. Dokdo is also represented by the sea lion, an animal that inhabited the island until it was tragically wiped out, hunted to extinction by the Japanese during their wrongful invasion of South Korea. Despite this sad truth, it does not take away from Dokdo's majesty. Nature takes on various shapes in Dokdo. The rocks of Dokdo have become a tourist attractions, and there are many shapes such as candlesticks, faces, elephants, and even the Korean peninsula itself. There are also other tourist attractions like the Dokdo Observatory and the National Geopark. Not only is Dokdo beautiful, but the island has a vital major resource. Methane hydrate, also known as burning ice, is ice filled with methane gas instead of water. This clean energy source has the word focused on Dokdo. If Dokdo's methane hydrate can be used as an environmentally friendly source, South Korea could become a global leader in the race to save the planet. Thus, Koreans are well aware of this charming and powerful island. Dokdo is something that Koreans are proud of. Therefore, I hope you will remember this speech about South Koreans' gift from nature and the story and the charm of Dokdo. Thank you for listening.
다음 연사는 고령 다산중학교 2학년 김규현 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Kim Kyuhyun, second grade from Goryang Dasan Middle School.
Hello, I'm Kim Go-hyun, a sophomore at Dasan Middle School. The topic I will present is why Korea and Japan aren't also Dokdo and what it can do. Dokdo is separated from the east and west. It is also an island where a territorial dispute with Japan is taking place. Then, let's find out why we are in dispute with Japan. It is estimated that the first discovery of Dokdo was made by residents living on Ollong Island, at least during the narrative period. In addition, the first literature indirectly mentioned about Dokdo is written in the Korean book Samguksagi, and also in the geography of the Annals of King Sejong. Another reason is Shimane Prefecture Notice number 40 in 1905, and in the process of writing the Treaty of San Francisco. The United States said that Dokdo was under Japanese control. However, to refute these two arguments, first of all, when Shimane Prefecture Notice number 40 came out, Luzon was colonized at that time. So, there was no country called Luzon. The Treaty of San Francisco originally stated that the three islands of Ollong Island would be returned. But Japan said Dokdo is not an island belonging to Ollong Island. So, it is not necessary to return it. However, I don't think this argument is acceptable, because most of the old documents say Dokdo belongs to Ollong Island. So, what does Korea claim? First of all, the first direct record of Dokdo in Japan, Unju 17학기, shows that Dokdo was recognized as an island outside of Japan. Also, there is 대동훈 부국본. This is the first encyclopedia in Korea, and Dokdo appears in explaining the concept of general laws. Experts judge that it could be evidence that the people of Korea used and distributed the island called Dokdo. With this data, we can refute Japan's claim that the people of Joseon did not know the existence of Dokdo. Therefore, why does Japan want to have Dokdo? First of all, Dokdo has many resources, such as natural gas and methane hydrate. Second, Dokdo has a lot of plankton and is suitable for marine life. So, fishing can develop. Third, Dokdo plays an important military and scientific role. Fourth, Dokdo expands Japan's territory. Thus, what can we do to protect our island Dokdo? We can't do important and wonderful things, but I think it is enough to focus on education or activities related to Dokdo, and think about it once more, and look for it when it comes out. It would be great if someday Japan recognizes Dokdo as Korean territory. Thank you for listening to the presentation so far.
다음 연사는 구미 한일중 2학년 김도희 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Kim Do-hee, a second grade from Gumi Hanil Middle School.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kim Do-hee, a second grader in Hanil Middle School, and today I'm going to share a speech about Dokdo Island. What do you know about Dokdo Island? A peaceful and beautiful island located in the East Sea, Dokdo is a home to many creatures and precious mineral resources. For example, on the cliffs of Dokdo Island, there is evergreen spindle trees standing firmly rooted as a natural monument of our country, Korea, protecting Dokdo for more than 100 years. As a habitat to so many species, the Cultural Heritage Administration designated Dokdo as a natural monument in 1982. Yet, due to ruthless and unforgivable actions by the Japanese, many of the species are now extinct. In the 1900s, the Japanese fishermen flocked to Dokdo after learning that they could profit off the skin and oil of kanchi. They caught young kanchi in the spring and sold them to zoos all across Japan for forced training. These kanchi, which were only visible in the seas around Dokdo, are now gone because of their reckless fishing. Can you believe what they did to us? This whole situation was totally heartbreaking to me. However, since the Japanese colonization, Japan has constantly insisted on Dokdo as their Takeshima Island. I must say, their claim is absolutely absurd. First, Dokdo has been a part of Korea since the Shilla dynasty. You can see some historical evidence here. First, if you look at page 50 of the Geography of the Annals of Taejong during Joseon Dynasty, Dokdo is clearly stated as Korean territory. Also, until 1905, the Japanese government agreed on Dokdo as our land. We can see that the Dajokan Order, Taejonggan Directive, and the map of Japan made in 1877. Lastly, the Totorian Submission, which was made in 1685, states, "No islands, not to speak of Takeshima and Matsushima, belong to Totori Han." Totori Han was the name of Japan at the time. Second, Geographically, Dokdo should be included in Korea. Territory refers to the land of a country, including its islands. And according to Article 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of Korea, it states, the territory of the Republic of Korea shall be the Korean Peninsula and its annexed islands. Moreover, Japan is trying to include Dokdo in its Shimane prefecture. But take a look at this map, everyone. The distance from Dokdo to Shimane prefecture is 157.5 kilometers. But the distance from Dokdo to Ulleungdo is only 87.4 kilometers. This basically tells us that Korea is twice as closer to Dokdo compared to Japan. Therefore, I strongly believe that Dokdo is our land, the land of the Republic of Korea. If so, we have to think about what we can do to protect Dokdo. First, I believe that the government should host various events such as essay writing competitions or campaigns in schools. I think these will ensure the students how important Dokdo is. Furthermore, we should support non-governmental organizations such as the Voluntary Agency Network of Korea. We call this organization the bank. The bank introduces Dokdo through courses, camps, and performances. They persuade people who believe that Dokdo is Japanese. I was so inspired by these people because even though they're ordinary citizens just like me, they worked so hard by the love toward our country. Including this honorable organization, I had such a great opportunity to research about our country and this tragic situation going on. Preparing this speech, I felt all kinds of emotions: anger, sadness, stuffy, and so many negative feelings. I even felt sorry for our Dokdo due to the fact that we are not properly protecting it as proud citizens of this country. Like I thought that I should do something about Dokdo, I hope that you, ladies and gentlemen, felt the same way as well. Now, my speech is coming to an end, but before I finish, I hope to sing a few lines of a song about Dokdo that is so near and dear to all of our hearts. 울릉도 동남쪽 뱃길 따라 이름 외로운 섬 하나 새들의 고향 그 누가 아무리 자기네 땅이라고 우겨도 독도는 우리 땅. Thank you for listening, guys.
다음 연사는 영천여중 2학년 손다경 학생입니다.
Next speaker is 송다경, second grade from Yeongcheon Girls Middle School. Hi, I'm Hong Da-young, who is in the second grade of Yeongcheon Girls Middle School. The reason why I participated in this Dokdo World Gyeongsang-Dokdo Foreign Language Quiz competition is that it is an opportunity to learn more about Dokdo in our country. I will introduce a simple explanation of Dokdo, Japan's claims and liberties, and the value of Dokdo that Japan covers. Dokdo is estimated that it was formed 4.6 million years ago, and it is a volcanic island much older than Ulleungdo and Jeju Island. Although it is difficult environment for plants to grow because of strong winds and shallow soil, many plants are observed to grow spontaneously. For this reason, Dokdo was designated as a natural monument. However, Japanese textbooks provided the first information that Dokdo is Japanese territory. Even now, Japan is claiming Dokdo is Japanese territory on nonsensical grounds. From now on, I will analyze whether Japan's claims and claims are valid.
Here's what Japan claims. First, Japan established sovereignty over Dokdo in the mid-7th century. Its basis was that Dokdo had been used as a fishing ground by issuing a Undo fishing permit since the Edo period. However, in Japan, Japanese do not need a fishing permit to go to an island, so we can see that the claim is false. Second, Dokdo was Japan's own territory and had no owner. Historically, Dokdo is clearly our territory. In March 1877, Japan's highest government agency, Taizonggan, announced that Dokdo and Urundo had nothing to do with Japan. For this reason, the Korean Empire marked Dokdo under the name of Seokdo in the administrative district of Uldo-gun as the Korean Empire Ordinance 41. Until now, we have looked at Japan's first claims and sovereignty over Dokdo is in Korea. Then, why does Japan claim Dokdo is their territory, even making false claims? Because the value of Dokdo is enormous. Let me explain it. First, Dokdo is exclusive economic zone. The exclusive economic zone is an area economic sovereignty designated by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. As a result, economically, a lot of ocean sovereignty over Dokdo areas. In addition, because Dokdo is rich in fish, there is another economic effect. Second, it is presumed that many mineral reserves are under the Sea of Dokdo. One of the mineral reserves, hydrate, is methane-based natural gas that, in its solid state, is similar to ice. And it also forms the potential of oil reserves. Because of these values, Japan is trying to take Dokdo away from us. It announced along with the value of Dokdo, I got a chance to think again while investigating Dokdo to prepare for the presentation. I ashamed that I knew little about Dokdo. I hope that everyone should be interested in Dokdo, not just me. I hope the day will come when many people get to know Dokdo. Thank you for your time.
다음 연사는 전천중학교 2학년 엄승현 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Seung-hyun, a second grade from Jeoncheon Middle School.
Hello, I'm Seung-hyun in the Jeoncheon Middle School. I came to talk about how to protect the beautiful Dokdo. Dokdo was a small island located 87.4 kilometers southeast in the Ulleungdo. Dokdo is made by erupting lava
and has a total of 91 islands, including Dongdo and Seodo. Dongdo, one of the big islands, is at the Dokdo at Isaukgil, and the other Seodo island is at Anyeongbukgil. Dokdo has a number of territorial values such as exclusive economic zones, maritime initiative, air bases, and is varied with enormous economic values such as fishery resources, the tide rate, the ocean water, and so on. The Japanese government stated in its social studies guideline for elementary and middle school students that starting in 2020, Japanese teachers are required to teach students that Takeshima is Japanese territory. In order to defend from Japan's claim of sovereignty, we need objective and logical grounds to proudly say that Dokdo is our land, and the grounds are as follows. Dokdo was the first called Usando after 512 years, but it was renamed as Sambongdo in 1417 and Seokdo in 1900. Dokdo has been our territory since Silla conquered Usan-gu. Dokdo, which began to be disputed territorially during the Russo-Japanese War, has been excluded from Japan's jurisdiction since World War II, and Japan has repeated false claims that Dokdo belongs to Japan. Korea has been using the name East Sea for more than 2,000 years. The Sejongsil록 geography clearly states the location of Ulleungdo and Dokdo, and in 1696, the Japanese shogunate confirmed that Ulleungdo and Dokdo were not Japanese territory and ordered a Takeshima prohibition of the map. In 1877, the Taejonggan document of Japan indicated that Dokdo was Japanese territory. Dokdo is also marked as Joseon's territory on the western map, Joseon Kingdom produced in 1737. In 1900, Emperor Gojong renamed Ulleungdo as Uldo and clearly stated that Dokdo is under the jurisdiction of the Uldo-gun. In 1915, is under the jurisdiction of. In 1915, the United Nations Memorandum of the Supreme Command of Korea 677 announced that Dokdo is a territory that Japan should return to Korea. In the 1951, San Francisco Peace Treaty, Japan recognized Korea's independence and stipulated that all rights to Korea, including Jeju Island, Geomundo Island, Ulleungdo Island, will be waived. In addition, there are many old maps and data to support Korea's claim to Dokdo, making it clear historically that Dokdo is our territory. Currently, the police are stationed to guard Dokdo, and the Korean military is guarding territorial water and airspace. In addition, various laws and regulations are applied to Dokdo, and various facilities such as lighthouse installed and operate in Korea. Finally, most important is the fact that Koreans live in the Dokdo. Korean government and private organizations work hard to talk back about Japan's Dokdo dominion and to correct East Sea Dokdo mark. Above all, I think that national people need to constant interest in Dokdo, the land that we should love and protect, the heritage of us and our precious land that we should love, protect as beautiful as it is. In some cases, the East Sea is marked alone, but the reality is that there are not many. Let's protect and love Dokdo until written to East Sea Dokdo all over the world. Thank you.
지금부터 1시 30분까지 점심시간을 가지겠습니다.
점심 식당에 있다고 하는데 먼저 좀 얘기를 하고 식당이라고 lunch is they consider lunch I think or an area of the first floor. This building 건물인가요? Do you have any same building. So I don't think we can have lunch at the cafeteria somewhere else. So the first floor of this building is a whole, but I don't know. So the problem is, 죄송하지만 I'm very critical. I admit that I'm very critical. So, and in my judging, the most important thing is assertiveness and persuasiveness and clarity of their voice and distinctiveness. So my opinion is the scripts are more or less the same, very similar. They talk about history, and so if they use visual aid is not a must thing, but it can buy the audience's response. And when they have visual aid, it is more easy. It is much easier to understand them, and they have rather assertive attitude. And the problem I found with the students in their voice volume is they are so soft. The problem is so the students who can speak very assertive in a loud voice and they do gestures, I gave them very good. Yes, I gave them full credit. Yeah. So so far, I have to admit that if they use visual aid, I gave them very good scores. This girl, yes, number 9. Yeah. She used the visual aid, and she had very assertive attitude. Second one is let me see. This girl. She didn't number 7. Yeah, she didn't use her visual aid, but she has a very distinctive voice and very assertive, very persuasive.
And then third phrase.
There is one.
Which one?
Well, I have 3 unknown numbers.
3?
No, I mean 3 students have the same score. Number 2, this boy, and number 5. So 2 and number 8. So my third one is number 2 and number 5. They are my third.
Number 2 or number 5?
Number 2 and number 5.
Third place, number 2.
They have the same score.
Number 2, number 5, or number 8.
And number 8.
I
have same.
Yeah, but in my case, number 8 is I'm out.
도시락이라서. 앞에 계신 선생님이십니까?
아니요, 저 그냥 같이.
여보세요?
7번,
아니, 상해가
number 7, second, number 8. 그냥 in my opinion.
Yeah. So I think we have very similar attitude about the judging. We can adjust a little bit after we have lunch. 몇 명을 제 1등 한 명? 네.
최우수 한 명, 나머지는
오케이.
우수니까 우수는 우수학교
네. So we have to choose one first winner and the second winner, and the remaining students are the same. I mean, the 8 students. So if we can screen 10 top 10 students, it's okay. And we have to talk about 2 best students.
So far, we have the same.
We have the same.
원투하고 나머지 이제 비교해가지고
네. 점수 조정 조금
좋은 애가 나올지.
Okay, so we're gonna just first place and second place.
Yeah.
The others,
합산돼.
we don't mind.
그냥 버튼을 정도 주는 수밖에 없다 그죠?
아니 이제 저는 숫자를 가지고 원래는 이걸 다 하고
일단 주면 되지. 일단 이게 주면 돼.
내가 이게 가지고 이거 나중에
영어 안 오고 아니 그런 건 다 여기 미국에 좀 살다 왔어요.
상관없어요.
살았어요? 진짜?
살고 발표
How
대표
many years have you been in the USA?
Just 2 years.
2 years?
Just 2 years.
2 years?
대표 저거잖아.
그러니까
That's a long time.
so it smells. 그래서 캐나다에 한 달 있었고 영국에서 영어 한 7년 강의했어요. 학교에서 이제 애들 무덤이라고 포스트
이거 나도 이거 나도
점수만 없으면
동시통역해도 되겠네.
아니요. 지금 말을 너무 오랜만에 해서
이전하고 대표 강사 합니까? 뭐예요?
조금 있어 이렇게 장사하면서 수업에서 좀 단절됐는데 일상에서 우리 영어를 안 쓰면 그렇거든요. 듣는 거 하고 말하는 건 또 다르거든요. 알아들어도 아니 90% 100% 알아들어도 말하는 건 또 다른 차원이거든요. 말하는 거 모르겠어. 너를 좋아하겠다. 약간 답답하. 이런 스타일.
승현 학생까지 없는 학생 있나요?
I have terrible because of this. I don't wear heels anymore, but today, oh, this morning I decided to wear them, and oh my god. Maybe you're proud. Probably. Probably. Answer. The problem is the organizer private and they don't have any having any kind of public thing. So when I arrived here this morning, they gave me this template and I I found this typo and there were Korean typo too. So I was so always heartbreaking. Oh no. So I wanted to tell them that the education board should not sponsor them anymore. But they talking Korean and I heard that and around next year they will have this contest in the office building. Your high school score so far is still so what score did you give to 99? Me 95. And your lowest score? I told that to critical 62. I think that's too nice as a lot. Yeah, I was always called a me.
Participating.
That's a very positive. I mean, it's very. I forgot all my words, but it's very good.
Grade them, it's fine, but for their actual teacher, they have to be critical. Teacher.
One was we have this six for number two and number five. Okay, I was the first five and then I had more. I mistake. They don't have to use American or the accent, but unless they have to. Shy and this is a formal. And I really want them to wear their formal wear. Yes. Having jeans.
Yeah.
I love right. Color is they're not cool.
Culture shock, I think.
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to sleep in class.
So I worked with several teachers, and their response was always like yours, like they told us that's almost and my analysis is this. And so when you were young, and the Western cultures, you don't sleep with your parents. So you're in your crib, your parents separate your nocturnal life from their nocturnal life. So you fall asleep. You have to sleep. You have to go to bed around 9 p.m. and then you wake up early during like 5 or 6, and you go to school around. You arrive school around 7, or I saw some Arizona students there. They had to be at school by 8 in the morning. But in Korea, parents they sleep together with their babies in the same bed, and I couldn't understand how they reproduce. I'm sorry, I'm single. But my very own sister, she also slept with her babies and with her hubby. But she had 3 sons. She had 3 sons. So they share their like the Korean babies share their nocturnal life with their parents. And their parents they usually go to bed after midnight or very late in night. But the babies they kind of get used to it, so they go to bed very late in night, and they always feel sleepy in the morning, and it became their lifestyle, their primary school days, and then the their video games. So after midnight, when their parents are sleeping, they do it 3 or 4 in the morning, and then they always feel sleepy at school, and they think it's normal, whereas it's not normal at all. So how about my analysis? I learned a lot. Research is right. I think that is the next problem. But things dreams take it for granted. Kids go to bed after midnight, and that is the normal thing. And then yes, kids sleepy at school. That is also considered normal. And they always say, well, they have to study hard. They have to study hard. And they're very early. And I said, excuse me, in America, when I was in Arizona, they had to go to school around 7:30. And I always told my students that you should school by 8. But American kids, 7:30. So they always want to complain that, well, we have to study a lot, we have to study late at night. And I said, it is your choice. That is really, really problematic. So most of them are they are metropolitan. So they are very lively for anyone. I didn't think much about it, but after I came back from America, I saw girls walking down. I mean, those students, young students walking down the street after midnight. And I was shocked, and they said, well, they're someone is after midnight, and they walk home alone. That was really shocking. But people didn't care about it. They thought, well, this is country as an environment. They still I so much these words. They just walk on. And when I was in Tempe, I didn't even go out when it starts.
Right.
And if you drive, it's okay. But if you well, it was okay in campus. Yeah, it was okay in campus. I heard some very sad news about what happened in campus. There girl went jogging around. Yeah, that's right. Well, things were not that great when I studied there. But I was so glad. First thing was there was a shuttle bus service in Tempe, and one of the drivers, he was really kind to me. And I really miss it. And I feel really sorry for him because you know the ASU, and I was a graduate student. So I had my classes almost every I usually and when the classes were over, I used the shuttle bus. I used the shuttle bus service, and that guy, he was very small, and he was very small. But when he noticed me standing in the passenger pedestrian walk, he waited for me, and I could see some passengers were complaining because he stopped his bus and did nothing. And I could see some passengers were
22독도 영어웅변대
and yelling at him,
잘해줬어요.
but he just waited for me. And I knew, and I waited. And I ran to the bus, and
야, 우리
then
집
I left America for good. I said nothing to him. I didn't even have a chance to say goodbye. I really feel sorry. I really feel sorry, but he was so. Whenever he noticed me standing, I always miss it.
아,
And also, there was Uno in this area. And well, a lot of people say their was the deep dish is nothing like the original one, but I could never beat this one. So my Uno, my deep dish experience was that was the only place I could eat deep dish, and I really there used to be Uno Pizzeria in Seoul, but their deep dish was different. And there was also some Sichuan restaurant. And fried fish.
Although Korean food is amazing. live in Arizona. Everything's so far. And it's nice that we everything close by and so so you really need a car in Arizona.
When I first went there, I didn't buy my car, and I used the shuttle bus. And when I used the shopping, my friend, one of my friends, but I decided to buy my car, and then before that I had to go to Puerto Rico,
EMV, yeah, Department of Motor Vehicles. There we go. Forgot.
but I didn't have a car at the time. So one of my classmates, she was Korean too, and she had to visit the EMV. And so she asked one of our classmates, a white boy, and the Korean girl asked him whether he has a car, and he reluctantly said yes. And so the Korean girl, she was a really good negotiator, and we combined the lines and take us right to DMV. And he very reluctantly said yes. And I could understand it, why he had that hesitation, because he usually takes hours in DMV. And in Arizona, he had a car, but no air conditioner.
No.
So at first he felt sorry because he didn't have any air conditioner, and then he hesitated because DMV
It's gonna
visit
take so long,
Yeah.
right? Oh. Not usually. Here, everything is it's very cheap and so I usually don't do it. My friends we friends with cars. I told her speak English. She looks too young to speak Korean. So little.
My response was,
All right.
babies. When I worked in Wuhan, there was a very small cable television company. But the Wuhan branch was small, but it belonged to very huge company. So their English speech practice was very organized. And I worked with them. there are lots of kids. I don't know why kids are so participating. Whenever they have a chance to talk in English, they don't especially kids. They're so cute. They're so cute, and the preliminary round was about their production, and the second round is they always give them topic. And the funny thing was, for the preliminary round, they talk about themselves. They were so cute, and their voice is good enough. And but the problem was, I don't know why, but they always say like, "Well, I like running English, not learning." With their cute voice, I like running English. They have their teachers in Hong was true, but why don't they emphasize? But if you have 30 participants who said, I like writing, it's a disaster. Do you still have the program? Yes, we were sent to Epic for teachers to.
Yes, I went. This year they finally started it again.
It is a good choice. Personally, I'm afraid you take us as support. So at first they wanted to ask you to support young things like hashtag or like shirts. I asked them find very and they asked me yeah. So I actually don't want them to. Because it's Hong is really good. But this, well, I don't like this inspiration. I like to introduce blah blah blah. I like to talk about or I don't like to tell you about. But that is very. I think that is just near translation for Korean. Koreans use that word. I like to talk about them daily. Say I like to talk about something. I like to introduce something. Lots of students that steal. They start and I don't like it. I know that. 여전히 타이포. They still have the typo. 아 근데 애니어는 너무 그 아이들이 기준으로 해서 혼자 나은 애가 있는지 그렇지 않을까? 그러니까 요런
사인 받는 것도 있을 거예요. 아,
우리 점수 총기표하고 개인권 그냥 식객표를 찍어서
그러면은 요거의 완성이
원래 이걸 줬어요.
굉장히 점수를 이것이 나왔어요.
처음에 이제
처음이에요.
이랬어요. 여기 그 사람 엑셀 내가 이걸 좀 나오잖아요. 그리고 이걸 근데 이것도 또 틀릴 수 있고 그래가지고
이거는 4명의 점수를
우리가 개인적으로 좀 다져서 수리를
그냥 필요 없어요. 이거 엑셀이니까 이거 복사도 해달라 해가지고 여기
이건 누가 썼어요?
이거 처음에 여기
이거는 처음에 올렸어요.
올려져 있었어요. 그러니까 왜냐면 이거 달라 했다.
개인별로 확인해서 나오잖아요.
우리가 지금 예, 엑셀이 없어요. 그러니까 그래 한번
그러면은 그렇게 깨끗하지 않은 이거를
그거는 깨끗한데
깨끗한데 해가지고 그거에 이럴 수가 없어버리고 그래.
깨끗한 거 하나 드릴까요?
아니 그거를 저 인쇄를 이걸 많이 이제 저만 아니고 전화지 말고 다 이제
그랬는데 한 개는 제 거고 한 개는 드릴 수 있어요. 이건 제 거고. 아니 저 이것이 관시 그냥 오셔야 돼. 한 분이 뭐가 있네. 이건 제 거고. 네. 지울 수 있어요, 무슨?
스탠딩 마이크 저게 안 맞아요. 이거 안 맞았어. 마이크가. 임경일 학생 오셨나요? 임경일 학생 손 들어주시. 네, 그리고 고성주 학생, 임연서 학생, 김소빈 학생, 설민영 학생, 성건 학생, 신지민 학생, 이선효 학생, 이준호 학생, 전예진 학생, 김현수 학생, 네, 장재성 학생, 일단 안 오신 분들은 좀 뒷순번이라서 저희가 지금 시작하려고 하는데 괜찮을까요? 네, 그럼 시작하겠습니다.
잠깐만. 그 종이가 부족해요. 뭐
그럼
가시는.
잠시 심사위원 오실 때까지 잠시만 기다려주세요. 네. 의자. 그림자.
이준호 학생 오셨나요? 이준호 학생? 안 오셨죠?
복수하러 가셨죠? 신사학교 형이가 하는 게좀 있어요. 그리고 지금 오후에는 이야기해 주시고 아예 이름 주고 아예 이름을 선생님 21번 22번 나왔습니다. 오케이. 아니죠.
다음 연사는 경산문정중학교 2학년 임병일 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Im Byung-il, a second grade from Gyeongsan-Munmyeong Middle School.
Hello everyone, I'm Lim Byung-il. Ever since I was young, I have been interested in social phenomena and have enjoyed watching the news. I used to get angry whenever I saw the news of Japan's claim on Dokdo. Even now, whenever I see this, I feel that Japan is whining and asking for impossible things, just like a baby. Embarrassingly to us, the Japanese government named Dokdo Takeshima, pretending that Dokdo belongs to Japan. It has also published textbooks that include this information. As a result, most Japanese students believe that Dokdo is their territory. Of course, Japan's behavior cannot change Korea's position of Dokdo. However, there is a precedent of Japan which invaded Dokdo during the Korea's vulnerable and chaotic period. Thus, if we don't take care of the issue of Dokdo, more serious problems may arise in the future. Even now, Japan is still making unreasonable arguments, determined not to give up Dokdo. Everyone, why is Dokdo our land? From ancient to modern times, Japanese and Korean records, including documents and maps, show that both countries acknowledge Dokdo as Korean territory. And the most definite basis is the document UN Campaign number 677, which was written down after the liberation of Korea. According to this document, Dokdo was one of the territories that Japan had returned to Korea. With all this evidence, it cannot be disputed that Dokdo belongs to Korea. So then, why is Dokdo so significant? Dokdo at first glance seems to be a small volcanic island. It is nevertheless worth a closer look. There exist various underwater terrains. There are plenty of natural resources reported as alternative energy in the future. And sea creatures are living energetically around Dokdo. Furthermore, it has benefits in securing the exclusive economy zone of Korea. Like this, Dokdo is of vital importance. Thus, we, living in the present, have to protect Dokdo as well. So what should we do to protect Dokdo, and how should we go about it? Firstly, we need to take advantages of our strong cultural exports to let the world know the truth about Dokdo. For example, BTS, a popular singer group from Korea, has sung Arirang, a Korean folk song, on the international stage. And the group also gave an influential speech on social issues on behalf of Korea at the UN. Activities such as those undertaken by BTS will help secure a better diplomatic position on Dokdo. As individuals, we can use media like YouTube and SNS to educate others on the matter of Dokdo. If we can show the world the history of Dokdo, it will be on our side. Secondly, we should all perform the role of civilian diplomats. For example, VANK is a cyber organization that aims to spread information about Korea to worldwide netizens. Via Bank, we can send and receive emails about Korean social issues and information. Bank recommends a book that is called Sorry Dokdo Gangchi. It is about a sea lion that lived around Dokdo. Unfortunately, due to Japan's ruthless poaching to get Gangchi skins and oil, Gangchi went extinct. Joining Bank, we can communicate with people all over the world using these kinds of stories so that the world will be better informed about Dokdo correctly. Finally, we should be more interested in Dokdo and invest our time and effort. Anyongo, a slave, went to Japan and got a document that Dokdo is Joseon's land from a Japanese official. Plus, Jang Han-sang, a military officer, went to Ulleungdo and Dokdo against strong waves and wind. He investigated the two islands and reported that he didn't find any trace of Japanese. Likewise, a voluntary army, the Dokdo Guards, was formed by Hong Sun-chil and defeated Japan bravely when Japan invaded Dokdo after the Korean War. Their achievements resulted from their love for the country. We need passion and courage like them. Let's be more interested in Dokdo. I will continue to watch the news and be interested in the country, and I will no longer be complacent. Why don't we become Dokdo Guards together? Thank you.
다음 연사는 성주중학교 3학년 고성주 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Ko Song-ju, a third grade from Sangju Middle School.
Hello everyone. My name is Hongju Go in third grade of Sangju Middle School.
I went to Ulleungdo and Dokdo during short-term vacation with my family. I arrived at Ulleungdo on Friday, May 1st, 2020, and the next day the Seaflower started to Dokdo to the east. It took 2 hours and a half to Dodongport under the fine weather. Dokdo it really looked like Smurfit, which I really look forward to see. Then after half an hour we arrived at Dokdo. There were Coast Guards. They welcomed us with big smiles. It seemed like a beautiful natural wonder. Splendid dark blue waves and the smell of the sea greeted us too. I hurried to get off the boat. It was a touching moment. Dokdo Arirang came to my mind, which goes like this. There is a lonely island far from here in the east sea. Today there is strong wind blowing like always. With his small face, he bears the oncoming wind. Dokdo, did you have a good swim last night? This is a well-known song named Lonely Arirang. When you read the lyric, Dokdo is a lonely island which keeps the wind from the sea. Once I watched a Dokdo concert on the internet with my parents. The chorus was sung by North Korean defector on Dokdo Island. With unified heart and voice under a conductor. Their hair was blowing in the strong wind. Without their high shirt, they looked like a figure guarding Dokdo. The song is very powerful, strong and soulful. I found it very touching and moving to listen to. To keep Dokdo, Korean people study, think about, and organize flash mob using the song Dokdo is our land, with loving thoughts of Dokdo. Furthermore, many people visit Dokdo. Once Korean president visited Dokdo. It was a good chance to show to the world that Dokdo is our land. My family members all clapped and felt proud. If we all show our love and interest in especially my generation, who will shape the future if we study Dokdo loving people over the past who watch it over Dokdo and shows our interest and willingness, then Dokdo will not be a lonely island anymore. According to the Bible, those one baby conquered, who can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. The action to keep Dokdo should be like a chorus, not a solo. Korea should be like a chorus, under a good conductor who can gather a flight of loud voice into one. That is our united mind. This way, like a cord of 3 strands, we Korean can make a strong country that no one can despise. I'm Dokdo lover 송주호. Dokdo, I love you.
다음 연사는 안동 복주여중 2학년 임연서 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Im Yeon-seo, a second grade from the Andong Bukju Girls University.
A little attention is related to bigger affection. Hi, I'm Im Yeon-seo. I will show you a video that I took part in.
내가 목도라고 큰 소리로 외치면 넌 우리 땅이라고 대답해줘. 그래도 이제 모두가
When I participated in making this challenge, I felt that the interest in Dokdo became bigger. I felt that the interest in Dokdo is connected to far bigger love. Why don't we give small attention to it? This song is made to announce many people of the importance of our precious island. Everybody in Korea says Dokdo is our territory. Then I want to ask you a question. Do you know why it is ours? Just because everyone says like that?
Then, I want to ask you one more. Can you explain the reason why it is ours to some people who say it's not? I think we feel shy if we cannot say the accurate reason. And also, I believe that we must know the accurate proof and reason and have pride as Dokdo owners. Therefore, I want to tell you why it is ours and make you know and have interest in Dokdo. Then, why Dokdo is our territory? First, let's look into the location. Dokdo, which is at the end of Korean Sea, is 87.4 km away from Ulleungdo. So, we can see it in Ulleungdo with our naked eyes. However, in Oki Island, which is the nearest one with it in Japan, is 157.5 km away from it. It means they can have never seen it with their eyes. By this reason, both countries recognize that it is Korean and the record is in 세종실록 7지. Then, historically, why is Dokdo our island? The record of Dokdo is going back to Silla period. Since 6th century, it was Korean territory. However, the conflict started in 17th century with Japan, who wanted Dokdo and Ulleungdo. Joseon and Japan had an argument over 3 years, and eventually Japan had admitted that it is ours. And the contents is recorded in totally domain answer sheet. Not only this data, there are plenty of records about the evidence. Then, is it just Korean data? Never. The maps of France and Japan specified that Dokdo is Korean. Especially the Japanese map, Shinchan Joseon Gukjeondo, was colored Dokdo and the Korean peninsula with same color. We can say that it is the very map that Japan admitted it is ours. With this clear data, why do we live without knowing anything? Why aren't you interested in Dokdo? By any chance, do you know the reason why we should save it? Then, why should we exclaim that it is ours? The small rock island may look like useless ground, but it is very precious area. The sea around Dokdo is called a golden fishing ground because there are lots of fish. Furthermore, countless reserves, including natural gas, is digged under the island. Where is this all? It is also very important for military strategy too. The location of Dokdo is a strategic point where we can see the movement of the Navy and Air Forces in Russia, Japan, and North Korea. Moreover, Dokdo is meaningful at ecology too. It has various and unique ecosystems, and there live a variety of plants and animals. Also, lots of migratory birds resting there, and it is the reason why Dokdo is nature reserve area. Therefore, we must manage and save it while doing the best possible. Now, you know the reason why it is ours, and also you know why we should protect it. Then, I want to ask you last question. Do you really want to get rid of the efforts of our ancestors? I think we must give attention to it constantly. To know the importance and to notify its worth is our task. I have tried to do it, and I am trying to do it right now too. And I will do my best to announce it in the future. Will you join me? Just watching is not virtue. It is our turn now. Please give small attention to Dokdo. Thank you.
다음 연사는 영천별빛중학교 3학년 김소민 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Kim So-min, 3rd grade from Yeongcheon Middle School.
Hello everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about Dokdo, an island with many beautiful resources. As you all know, Dokdo is also called Treasure Island and is Korea's natural monument number 336. The fact that Dokdo is our territory can be also confirmed in terms of historical, geographical, and international law. It's clearly our own territory. There are many reasons why Dokdo is our territory, but as a result, the signing of the San Francisco Treaty of Ganghwa Island in 1951, Japan recognizes Korea's independence and renounces all rights and claims to Korea, including Jeju Island, Gyeongdo Island, and Ulleungdo Island. Article 2 of the treaty stipulates that Dokdo is clearly the land of the Republic of Korea. Despite these grounds, Japan Ministry passed the examination of a middle school textbook containing that Dokdo was incorporated by Japan in 1905, but that Korea claimed to its territory in 1952. Why does Japan keep insisting that Dokdo belongs to its territory, even if there are so many historical facts? What can we do to protect Dokdo from Japan's atrocities, which makes this first contextual? In my case, I have a good idea. First, through SNS, you can tell overseas that Dokdo is our land to my international friends. Second, I hope we can keep Dokdo safe as our territory by doing campaign for protecting Dokdo. For example, I'm doing a reading exercise. Isn't it good? I urge that Japan will accept the true history of Dokdo. In addition, I also hope that this debate will end someday. Thank you.
다음 연사는 영천 별빛도 부산원전 설민영 학생입니다.
Next speaker is 설민영, a third grade from Yeongcheon Perfect Middle School.
Hello, my name is Hermin-young from Yeolbi Middle School in Yeongcheon. Today, I'm here to talk about why Dokdo is our island. Please attention to my speech. Dokdo is our island. It's not just our island, it's the island full of history that our nation has been protecting for 40 years and has had to protect. The claim that Dokdo is our territory has been introduced so many times that even young children are aware of this. However, not many people are able to make this claim with supporting evidences. Most people would say, we can visit there without a passport. Koreans live in Dokdo. Yes, these are true to some extent, but these statements are not sufficient to refute Japan's claim to Dokdo. From now on, I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why Dokdo is our territory, which are historical, geographical, and political. First of all, this is a historical evidence that Dokdo is a Korean territory. Dokdo, which had been called Usangguk since the era of the Joseon dynasty, was marked as Korean territory in Joseon Wanggukjeon도, drawn by a famous French geographer Tang Liu in 1737. This is a clear evidence that historically Dokdo had been recognized as a Korean territory. Therefore, Dokdo is our island. Secondly, geographical proximity is also a supporting evidence that Dokdo is a Korean territory. The distance from Ulleungdo, the island of Korea, to Dokdo is 87.4 kilometers. But the distance between Dokdo and Oki Island of Japan, which is the closest to Dokdo, is 157.5 kilometers. In other words, from Korean territory, one can see Dokdo with the naked eye on a clear day. Therefore, Dokdo is our island. Last of all, the Korean government has de facto control over Dokdo, and this is a strong evidence that Dokdo is a Korean territory. There are Korean police forces stationed on Dokdo, and this indicates that the power of our law and administration is exercisable, and it is our territory. Therefore, Dokdo is our island. While preparing this speech, I learned why Dokdo has been protected by our country. Despite these strong evidences, Japan still claims Dokdo as their territory and publishes textbooks with distorted facts. As the citizens of our country, we must be more knowledgeable and protect our country's interests for the generations to come. We all need to cooperate in protecting Dokdo as our territory. This summer break, I will visit Dokdo to learn more about it and to do my part. I hope that my speech has helped you understand why Dokdo is our territory. Thank you for your time and attention.
다음 연사는 전촌중학교 3학년 성건 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Song Gun, a third grade from Chonchon Middle School.
Hello, I am Sangwan, a third grade student at Chonchon Middle School. Have you ever listened to this song? 울릉도 동남쪽 뱃길 따라 이름이 외로운 섬 하나 새들의 고향 그 누가 아무리 자기네 땅이라 우겨도 독도는 우리 땅. Dokdo is our land is a song that Koreans must have heard at least once. Dokdo is made of 91 surrounding islands, including two large islands, Dongdo and Seodo, and was created by lava emission. The title of the song, Dokdo is our land, was created to show really Dokdo is our land, because of the statement that Dokdo is Japanese territory. Since the end of Russo-Japanese War in 1905, a long time ago, Japan has forced Dokdo to be transferred to Cinema Prefecture for over 100 years now, and they have insisted that Dokdo belongs to them. The sovereignty of Dokdo, which began to be disputed during the Russo-Japanese War, was returned to Korea after World War II when Japan was excluded from the jurisdiction of Dokdo. But it continues to make false claims that Dokdo is Japanese territory. But if you look at history, Ulleungdo Island in the Silla period was a country. It was called Usan-guk, but after Silla took over Usan-guk, Dokdo, an attached island next to it, naturally became our land. Dokdo has a lot of historical data and old maps to support our claim of sovereignty, so we can clearly see that Dokdo is our land. However, there is a country that learns that Korea forcibly takes over Dokdo, although it is Japanese territory. As Japan's Takeshima Day event has become famous, it is actively promoting misinformation that Dokdo belongs to Japan. The reason why Japan is actively taking over Dokdo is because of its economic and geographical aspects. There are many nature resources under Dokdo. so Japan is trying to use them, and geographically it is Japan's territorial extension. We should actively show that Dokdo belongs to the Republic of Korea, and it is time to let many people know that Dokdo belongs to the Republic of Korea by promoting it on Dokdo Day, October 25. Dokdo is a land that we will protect, and it is heritage of us. It is our duty that we should all continue to pay attention to Dokdo. Let's all work hard together and love Dokdo until the day when everyone in the world knows Dokdo Day, October 25. Thank you for listening.
다음 연사는 인천 율곡중학교 3학년 신지민 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Shin Ji-min, a third grade from Incheon Yulgok Middle School.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm here to talk about the importance and the beauty of Dokdo, a Korean island located off the east coast of our mainland. Our country has taken care of and protected the beautiful island for many decades, so it has a great historical meaning to the people of Korea. So, today, I would like to share with you what Dokdo means to me and the people of Korea. More specifically, I would also like to talk about the nature, how Japan and the world view this island, as well as what we can do to protect this beautiful island. First, to talk about the nature, since Dokdo has all the right features for marine life to be plentiful, it has a variety of sea creatures. Some representative wildlife include dua shrimp and whole seagull. And it was also once home to Gamchi, the most symbolic animal of Dokdo, a type of sea lion. They were easily found on the island many decades ago due to overhunting by Japanese poachers. The Dokdo sea lion declined greatly in number, eventually becoming extinct in the 1970s. Nonetheless, the island is also known for other resources. Typical examples are methane hydrate and manganese ingot. Methane hydrate is produced by freezing methane gas and natural gas with water on top of microorganisms in the sea. When hydrate is ignited, it burns like solid fuel. It's called burning ice because of its properties. What's cool is that methane hydrate will serve as an eco-friendly energy in the future because it generates less carbon dioxide than oil when burned. Then, manganese ingot is the resource that is located in the deep sea. The surface of manganese contains four metal resources essential for high-tech industries such as manganese, nickel, copper, and cobalt. So they are highly expected as a replacement for land resources that are depleted. Now, let's talk about some of the various viewpoints on the island. In order to claim Dokdo as its own land, Japan has recently marked the East Sea to Sea of Japan, and even in textbook, students are taught to call Dokdo Takeshima, and they are taught that it is their land. However, there are historical evidence of Japan admitting that Dokdo belongs to Korea. For example, first, in 1877, Japan itself admitted that the island is a Korean island. At that time, Taejongwan, the highest administrative organization in Japan, ordered the Interior Ministry to keep in mind that Ulleung and Dokdo have no relations to Japan as a result of negotiations between the Edo shogunate and Joseon government. Then, in 1900, after World War II and the demise of the Japanese Empire, the Allies and Japan signed the Treaty of San Francisco, which explicitly states that Japan renounces all rights of Jeju Island and Ulleung Island to Korea. Thanks to this treaty, it was declared worldwide that Dokdo is under the administration of the Korean government. This cannot be emphasized enough. Thus, Dokdo is, in fact, our island. Now, the last thing I would like to discuss with you is how we can protect Dokdo. Protecting the territory and its natural resources is an ongoing battle and the responsibility that is for all of us, not just a few. We can pick Anyeongbok as an example. Anyeongbok was a fisherman of Joseon Dynasty, and when he saw Japanese fishermen fishing in the Ulleung Island,
he actually traveled to Japan to claim that Ulleungdo and Dokdo are our land. Like Anungbo, but clearly informed Japan that Dokdo is our land, we should actively raise the public's awareness on Dokdo as a Korean island. The easiest thing to do is to always have in mind the fact that Dokdo is our land. With the sincere love for our island, our country, we should never forget that it is our land, and therefore it is an island that we must protect. I would also like to recommend you to participate in various events and campaigns related to Dokdo. On October 25th, the day of Dokdo, the Dokdo Defense event and Dokdo campaign are held, and schools also hold competitions such as Dokdo Mind Math every year. Individuals can also increase their interest in Dokdo by using their necessities with Dokdo on them or making them themselves. For example, I carry around a pencil case with love Dokdo on it, and this is a great reminder for myself. So far, we have learned about the natural environments, the different views on the island, and what we can do to further protect it. It might seem difficult to do at first, but if you pay attention to Dokdo even a little bit more than you do now, you will definitely be able to tell the whole world whose island Dokdo is. Thank you so much for your time.
다음 연사는 영광여중 3학년 이선효 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Lee Sun-hyo, a third grade from Yonggwang Girls Middle School.
Okay, hello everyone, it's a nice day. I believe that you can see Dokdo from Ulleungdo with this clear weather. Before I begin my speech, let me ask you a question. How much do you know about Dokdo and why Dokdo is our territory? Don't feel guilty even if you don't know much, because I'm going to tell you now one. First, let me explain the basic information about Dokdo. Dokdo comprises of two main islets called Dongdo and Seodo and 89 smaller rocks. There are many creatures living in Dokdo, including 532 species of animals and 63 species of plants. The seas surrounding Dokdo have long been famous for its fertile fishing ground. It also has a natural resource called methane hydrate that is harmless to the environment on its seabed, and its estimated amount of deposit is non-countable. Because of these biodiversity and important resources, the economic value of Dokdo is very high. Therefore, Dokdo is a really important place to Korea. Unfortunately, Dokdo has become a source of conflict. Sovereignty over Dokdo has been an ongoing point of contention in South Korea-Japan relations because of its importance for both economic and geographic reasons. However, it's a clear fact that Dokdo has been and is Korean territory. And what is the basis that Dokdo is Korean territory? The first one is the geographical fact. Dokdo's geographical location is about 89 kilometers from the southeast side of Ulleungdo, and it is about 160 kilometers away from Japan. Because of its geographical location, Korean can see Dokdo with the naked eye from Ulleungdo. From this fact, we can infer that Dokdo was known to Korean long before Japan ever learned of it. The second one is the historical fact. Dokdo has been South Korea's territory according to numerous records. Dokdo first appeared in Korean historical record when Silla incorporated Usan-guk into its territory in 512. From there and after 15th century, former Korean government publications and maps indicated Dokdo as Korean territory, while Japan has no histories of indicating the islets in any of government publications or maps until 1905. Rather, Japanese government confirmed that Ulleungdo and Dokdo were part of Korean territory in 1696. The third one is the fact that South Korea actually occupies Dokdo present. There is a regular ferry service from Ulleungdo to Dokdo, and many Korean tourists are visiting Dokdo every year. There are over 900 Korean citizens registered Dokdo as their residents, and 2 out of them are permanent residents, and the government of South Korea subsidizes their living. There is a small police detachment has been stationed to protect Dokdo since 1954. And also, the government workers and lighthouse keepers are residing in there in rotation. In the past, several fishermen also lived there temporarily. In 2005, the first wedding ceremony was held on Dokdo. As such, it is obvious that Dokdo is South Korea's territory in geographically, historically, and practically. Lastly, I would like to say a word to Japanese government and wrap up my speech. Please stop spreading false information that Dokdo belongs to your territory. And please do not distort the history of Dokdo, which is precious to Koreans. Thank you all for listening.
다음 연사는 청년중학교 3학년 전예진 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Chun Wei-jin, a third grade from Sungwon Middle School.
Hello everyone, I am Chun Ye-jin, who is currently in the 3rd grade of Pyongyang Middle School. Before we begin, let me ask you a light question. What do you think is the most famous song for Koreans? Following after the national anthem, I safely assume that it is the song Dokdo is our land. But why is the song about Dokdo so famous? Is it that important that Dokdo is our land? We acknowledge that it is, but a majority of people usually don't know the exact reason. If we want to defend Dokdo, shouldn't we know why too? Today, I will talk to you about that reason. The people who don't know much about Dokdo, it is usually perceived as an island piled with stones. That is very different from the truth. Dokdo shows off a much more higher value. If Dokdo is internationally approved as our land, the profits it will bring with its surrounding waters are beyond imagination. The sea near Dokdo is so rich in fish and fishery resources that it is called a golden fishing ground. There are even 600 million tons of the futuristic clean energy resource called hydrate buried underwater. So in total, it can be considered as millions of trillions of won in economic value. However, because the island is so valuable, Japan covets Dokdo. Japan has been trying to steal Dokdo for quite a while. Their claim in 1952, saying that Japan does not approve Dokdo as Korean territory, sets the start. From the late 1970s, officials of Japan come forward and strengthen the territorial dispute. The evidence used to support the opinion that Dokdo is their land seems to be that Dokdo was drawn on an old map of Japan. However, the fact that Dokdo is depicted like other Korean territories on the original copy of the map, and that Dokdo is included in Korea and other old maps of Japan, suggests that Dokdo is Korean territory. As you can see, the evidence they provide to claim that Dokdo belongs to Japan is outright absurd. In comparison, we can see that Dokdo is clearly recorded as Korean territory in many official astronomical books of Joseon, including the 세종실록 지리지 and Dong literature notes. Like this, most of Japan's claims can be refuted with historical evidence. Yet, they still insist on their lies because of the benefits that come from owning Dokdo. It has come to the point that they teach students of their country the storied history of Dokdo being Japanese land. Now, they are planning a bold scheme to fool the entire world. As an example, they have marked Dokdo as if it was their territory on the map shown on the Olympics, which is an international event. This act has caused people of Korea to turn furious. The provocations have continued throughout deep history to our generation in 2022, and it must end in our generation. If Japan succeeds to take away Dokdo, not only will it be a critical economic loss, but also losing the symbol of pride to our people. It is a shame to the Korean martyrs who have protected Dokdo, and that is only unacceptable. However, Japan will not back down so easily. Then, what kind of stand shall we take? The answer is actually simple. We must express our willingness to fight to defend Dokdo. This problem is not only on the government, but also on the people of Korea. In order to build Japan's logic, each and every one of us must study about the Dokdo issue and strongly refute Japan's false claims. The sun cannot be hidden with the palm of your hand. Now that we have become a global society, we must make efforts to make the world aware that Dokdo is Korean territory. I have considered eventual Dokdo a boring annual event at school. However, learning about Dokdo while writing the speech made me realize I was too wrong. I know I'm not the only one to have thoughts like my past. We must take interest and respond sensitively to every statement about the Dokdo problem. If we firmly insist that Dokdo is Korean territory, Japan will not be able to deceive the whole world with lies. Until now, our ancestors have protected Dokdo with their dedication. Now, it is our responsibility to protect Dokdo. If we put in the efforts to protect Dokdo, we can protect Dokdo. Thank you for listening.
다음 영상은 구미 전자공고 1학년 김현수 학생입니다.
Next speaker is Kim Hyun-soo, a first grade from Gumi Jeonjagonghap High School.
Dokdo is Korea's precious territory and pride. Hello everyone, my name is Kim Hyun-soo. I am a student in Gumi Electronic Technical High School. The reason why I'm here is to talk about the sovereignty of Dokdo, which is currently an issue these days. Do you know where Dokdo is located? Dokdo is a small island at the eastern end of Ulleung-gun, Gyeongsang-do. However, the Japanese government has long claimed that Dokdo belongs to Japan due to Dokdo's supposed closeness to Japan. The Japanese government makes these claims because there are many advantages to owning Dokdo. The first advantage is the methane halide gas buried around Dokdo. Methane halide gas is in the spotlight for being a possible alternative energy source. The second advantage is that Dokdo is rich in fish and this is profitable. It is for this reason that Japan claims Dokdo as their own territory. How does Japan claim Dokdo as their own territory? In Japan, Dokdo is called by another name Takeshima. The government says that Korea is illegally occupying Dokdo. Even in Japanese school textbooks, Dokdo is said to be a Japanese territory. I argue that it is safe to say that these claims made by the Japanese are far-fetched. I believe that there are three reasons why Dokdo is only Korean territory. My first reason is the proof of historical evidence. If you look at the geography of Sejeongsillo, which was written during the Joseon Dynasty in 1454, the Korean officials marked Ulleung-do and Dokdo as Korean territory. Additionally, in 1696, Anyongbok, a fisherman, received a written answer confirming that Dokdo is Korean land. My second reason is the geographical basis. From the Korean island of Ulleung, you can clearly see Dokdo. Meanwhile, on the Japanese island of Oki, you cannot see Dokdo. This means that it is Korean land that is closest to Dokdo. The distance from Ulleungdo Island is about 80 kilometers, but the distance from Oki Island is about 120 kilometers. My third reason is the basis of international law. Korea's Imperial Decree number 41 indicates that Dokdo belongs to Korea. Additionally, the Supreme Commander for the Allied Powers Instruction Notes clearly states that the Allied do not attribute Dokdo to Japan. Also, international support came last year. The Spanish Senate Library held an exhibition about the Joseon Kingdom. In the exhibition was the oldest surviving map of Joseon made by Westerners. The map of the Korean peninsula was made in the 1730s, showing that Dokdo belongs to Joseon. Now, even though it is true that Dokdo belongs to the Republic of Korea through this clear piece of evidence and data, Japan continues to insist that Dokdo belongs to itself. In order to dispel this claim, we should all about the importance of Dokdo and continues to inform the world in this fact. So Japan does not make any more nonsensical claims. There's a saying, knowledge is power. If you know about the history of Dokdo and its importance, you will be able to protect our Dokdo. We need all of our strength so that Japan's claims no longer be insisted upon. Dokdo is Korea's precious territory and pride. Thank you for listening.
마지막 연사는 영주 영광고등학교 2학년 장재성 학생입니다.
The last speaker is second grade from Yeonju Yeongwang High School.
Today is a particular honor for me because, let's face it, my presence on this stage is pretty unlikely. You can imagine how hard I've tried and how much time I've spent on this speech. I'm Jang Jae-sung in the second grade of Yeongwang High School in Yeongju and a so-called troublemaker at school. And I was hardly able to read English not too long ago. Against typical expectation, my parents have done their best and clearly shown me what honest and industry are like. Nevertheless, I wasn't always as focused as I should have been on school. I did some things I'm not proud of, and I was busy finding an excuse for not trying. My life could have easily taken a turn for the worse. But I was lucky. I got a second chance and I had the opportunity to ride a horse. I made the utmost effort and became to stand out as a horse rider in spite of many unfavorable circumstances around me. Riding a horse in a small town like Yeongju requires extra effort and huge financial burden, which makes my parents work harder. Thanks to their sacrifice, I could be educated in best possible environment, which is what I'm thankful and there come to be no excuse for not trying in the life of the troublemakers. Some of you might not have those advantages. Maybe you don't have others in your life who give you the support that you need. Maybe someone in your family has lost his or her job and there's not enough money to go around. Maybe you live in a neighborhood where you don't feel safe or have friends who are pressuring you to do things you know aren't right. But the circumstances of your life is no excuse for neglecting your homework or having a bad attitude in school. There's no excuse for talking back to your teacher, cutting class, or dropping out of school. What I have just said applies to Dokdo as well. After World War II, the Allied power decision to exclude Dokdo from Japan's territory was part of postal measures to implement the results from the Cairo Declaration and the Potsdam Declaration, which obligated Japan to renounce territory it had taken by violence and greed. These measures taken by the Allied power were succeeded in the San Francisco Peace Treaty signed in September of 1951. However, drafting the San Francisco Peace Treaty, Dokdo was excluded from the territory Japan should have relinquished, and the United States rejected the Republic of Korea's related request to include Dokdo as one of the areas Japan must renounce by sending a diplomatic letter called the Lost Note. Consequently, the San Francisco Peace Treaty could be the justifiable cause that Dokdo is an inherent part of the territory of Japan based on international law. Korea had no choice but to admit it because Korea was in the middle of the Korean War and much inferior to Japan in terms of diplomatic, economic, and political power. However, it is sufficient for us living today to repeat our ignorance and incapability at the time, just claiming Dokdo is our land. I don't think so. We must do all the things that we can do simultaneously, persuading international communities with more elaborate logic and evidence. 931. Can you guess what this number means? It is the Koreas being invaded by outside forces. The country with 5,000 year history has been invaded over 1,000 times, which means it has been invaded every 5 years. Why is that? Two reasons can be explained. First, being located at the crossroad of a continent and an ocean, the history of Korea is littered with ample examples of geopolitical entanglement. The Korean peninsula has been constantly intertwined in a geopolitical vortex, in which land power and sea power clashed. Second, those who governed Korea were divided in front of the foreign power instead of joining forces. When Korea was faced with a national crisis, the people united their efforts to overcome it, which remains in the gene of the people, exhibiting its ability whenever there have been crises. Dongan Revolution of 1894, the March First movement, the gold collecting campaign, 2002 FIFA World Cup street cheering in Korea, and the Korea's response to COVID-19. As you can see, Korea is a country that has been kept and made by the Korean people. It is the Korean people's goodness industry, sincerity that have kept Korea from numerous national crises. These are what we have inherited. There is no limit to what Korea can achieve with these virtues. In our digital age, We can connect and promote Dokdo across borders like never before. With our smartphone, Twitter, YouTube, and other social network services, we can let people around the world catch the Dokdo wave and enjoy themselves as they have caught Korean wave Hallyu. If we repeat a lie often enough, people will believe it, and you will even come to believe in yourself, said Goebbels, a chief propagandist for the Nazi Party. On the other hand, Lincoln said, you can fool all the people some of the time and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. Didn't Goebbels agree with Lincoln? Goebbels probably knew it. It will be too late. If people finally know the truth, people will have lost too many things until they have gone through a lot to get back to reaching the truth. We should know that the territorial issue has been abused as a means to secure approval rating of the specific political party and promote national integration in both Korea and Japan. Japan is not our enemy, but one of the developed countries representing East Asia along with Korea. And it is the neighboring country sharing the virtues of democracies and free market economy, with which Korea has to lead the international community through an elevated conversation and a compromise. Bilateral relationship with no conflict can exist only in the imagination. Conflict is an object to be managed, not to be eliminated. Both Korea and Japan should reconcile it moderately, just like a diabetic manages the blood sugar instead of getting rid of the disease. Changing only happens when ordinary people get involved, get engaged, and come together to demand it. Let us keep Dokdo in our own hands, reflecting on the precious legacy that our ancestors have passed down. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Yes, we can again. Thank you.
이상으로 연사들의 준비된 발표가 끝이 났습니다. 긴 시간 동안 함께 경청해 주셔서 진심으로 감사드립니다.
The chair for the speak close to here, please. Thank you so much for listening for a long time.
스피치 발표 결과는 심사 집계가 끝난 후에 총 10명이 대강당에서 발표될 예정입니다.
Editorium after the result of the speech will be announced in the editorium after the evaluation.
코로나19 등 재반 사정으로 인해 별도의 시상식을 없으며 상장과 부상은 각 교육청을 통해 따로 전달됨을 알려드립니다.
Due to various circumstances such as COVID-19, there is no separate award ceremony, and the award and degrees will be delivered to the
이상으로 제18회 독도사랑 경상북도 외국어 스피치 대회의 막을 내리겠습니다.
뭔가 좀 차후가 있는 것 같은데요. 그 결과 발표가 그 강당에서 있는 게 아니고 학교로 공문이 갑니다. 그래서 기다릴 필요가 없을 것 같아요. 본부장님 맞죠, 그죠? 결과 발표는 공문으로 가지 강당에서 발표되는 건 아니죠.
메인 강당에서 심사 발표는 오늘 하고요.
하고 근데 안 계셔도 관계도 없잖아요.
예,
그죠?
그렇죠.
시상하는 게 아니라서. 네.
결과는 유튜브로 지금 방송이 나가고 있기 때문에
그냥 유튜브를 보시면 되겠네요. 예. 결과를 볼 필요는 없네.
참여부가 12명이 남아있기 때문에 또 끝나도 또 올라가셔 있다가 결과를 꼭 보시고
가셔도 되고 유튜브로 보셔도 되고.
네. 잘했나?
임연서 학생 있으신가요?
그러면
이거 끝나?
됐어, 여기 접어버려.